Hey students, I wanted to work through some of these problems from this worksheet, and where you find this worksheet on that Hoffman-Moore Math Modified Assignments. This is um, right here under the surface area. And again, there's a couple videos here that you should watch first before attempting this worksheet. It kind of helps kind of describe it, helps you understand it, and then I'm going to work through this worksheet that's posted here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this because that's what I'm doing now. Um, so surface area is exactly what it sounds like. It is the area of all the surfaces of a three-dimensional, a 3D shape. There are three different types of prisms here, or cylinders. The first one, like number 1, number 3, number 5, these are all rectangular prisms. We have triangular prisms, like this one, number 2 or number 4, and then we also have cylinders, which is like number 6 or number 8. Okay. Also, real quick, there are answers here, so you can check your work when you're done, but you still have to show your work. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to try to work through about 3 different shapes, one of each kind, to help you work through these on your own. Hopefully you can do the rest on your own. Again, reach out to your teachers if you're still confused. We are happy to help. So real quick, before we start, we have to remember the formula for area of the 3 main shapes we're working with: a rectangle or square, a triangle, and a circle. So let's write those out real quick. So first of all, area of a square or a rectangle is length times width, okay? Um, so really what that means is length times the width. You could call it base times height. Basically, it's the two sides, okay, that you're multiplying together. For a triangle, the formula for area is base times height divided by 2, okay? So that's the base of the triangle times the height of the triangle, and then you divide it by 2. And then finally, we have the area of a circle. And if you're in Ms. Hoffman's class, you know that pi are not round, pi are squared, right? Pi are squared. And remember, we always use 3.14 for pi, unless you're told to use something else. But we're going to use 3.14 today. Okay? So with surface area, let's look at the worksheet again. Let's look at number 1, a rectangular prism. We have a front and then a back, which is back here, which you can't see. And those are equal to each other because they have the same dimensions. You have a side, like right here, and then a side over on the left that you can't see. And those are equal to each other. And then you have a top and then a bottom that you can't see. And those are equal to each other, okay? So I'm going to quickly draw this here. So number 1, let's draw it. And remember, we're not worried about your ability to draw. We're not scoring you on that. That is Miss Shaw's job, not our job. So it's 6 feet, 12 feet by 2, 6, 12, and 2. So 6, 12, and 2. Okay? And remember, with rectangles, opposite sides are congruent. So if this is 12, that means that this is 12. That means that this is 12, and the one back here that you can't see is 12. Okay? If this is 6, that means up here, up top, is 6. Right? And if this side is 2, that means this side over here is 2. Remember, with a rectangle, opposite sides are equal. So with surface area, we need to find the area of all the different faces and then add them together, okay? So with a rectangular prism, you have the front and the back, the two sides, and the top and the bottom. So I like to take it one at a time, and I like to work it out, and I label it to keep myself organized. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to start with the front, okay? So the front, F, stands for front. Area of a rectangle is length times width, okay? So for this front side right here, this front side, maybe I'll use a different color. This front side right here, okay? We have area equals 6 times 12, okay? And when I multiply those together, 6 times 12, I get 72. Okay, 72. And that's the front. Well, remember, the front is the same as the back, okay? So I don't even need to do that math. I can just kind of jot it down. So the back, B back, is also 72, okay? So I have 72 for the front and 72. Let's make sure we know what units we're talking about real quick. We're doing feet. So these are all feet squared, okay? And I'll label it at the end, but 72 on the front, 72 on the back. I'm going to do the sides now. I have this side over here, right? And remember, that's going to match this side. So I usually just call it like side 1 or side 2. You could do left side, right side, whatever helps you. I use S1 and S2. So side 1, we have the bottom of it right here, and then this side. Okay, right here, you know the length of this one is 2. And the reason, because this top side is also 2, so that means this has to be 2. All right? So on the side, remember, area equals length times width. So area equals the 2 times 12, this 12 right here. And when I multiply those together, you all know it is 24, okay? And again, side 2, this side over here that we can't see, right here on this side right here, that's the same as this side 1. So I don't need to do the same math problem again. I know that that's going to be 24, okay? So far I've done I've done front, back, side 1, and side 2. The only thing I have left is the top and the bottom. So let's look at that. So the top is right here, okay? And I have 6 and 2 are the two sides. So area equals length times width. Area equals 2 times 6. 2 times 6 is 12, okay? So if the top is 12, that means that the bottom, I like BOT, bot, how about that? The bottom is also 12. So I'm done with this problem. What I need to do now is just add them all up, right? Because I have my front, my back, side 1, side 2, top, and bottom. So let's just add them up. 72 plus 72 plus my sides, 24 plus 24 plus my top and bottom, so plus 12 plus 12. And that equals 216. So surface area, SA, for this shape is 216. And if you remember, this was in feet. So 216 feet squared. This is my final answer, okay? Let's see how I did. Jump down here to number 1. Hey, look at that. Got it right. All right. So that's number 1. Let's jump and do number 2. We have a triangle prism here, okay? Now the thing with these, you got to be careful. Not all of these sides have the same dimensions, okay? So don't assume that they're all the same, okay? We'll see that the bottom of this prism is different than these rectangles on the side, okay? So just really double check your dimensions, okay? So number 2, and these are not as easy to draw. Again, we're not drawing your ability or scoring your ability to draw these, but it really does help to draw them so you can see it yourself. So here are dimensions. 6, 4 is the height of the triangle. So I'm just gonna copy what they have. 6, 4, 5, 5, and 11. So 5, 5, and then 11. Okay? All right. So again, we have a front and a back. There's this back here. Okay? And we have a bottom, that it's the base, and then we have the two sides. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 different faces on this shape. Okay? So that means we're going to have 5 numbers that represent area, and we're going to have to add up those 5 numbers to get the total surface area. Okay? So let's start with the front. The shape of the front is a triangle. So I'm going to use area equals base times height divided by 2, because if you remember, that is the formula for area of a triangle. All right, so let's plug in those numbers. Area equals base is 6 times the height of the triangle is 4. Usually they love to show the height of a triangle with this little dotted line down the middle. So when you see that, they're always talking about height. And then I'm going to divide that by 2. Okay, so 6 times 4 is 24, divided by 2 is 12. So the area here of my front and my back, those triangles, are 12. So I've got my front, now I've got my back, and I'm just going to put 12. So I've got my front and my back is equal to 12, okay? All right, so I'm going to do the sides now. I've got this side. Let me go back to the worksheet. I've got this side and the other side. Those are the same. They're rectangles. So I'm going to call it side 1. So area equals length times width. So area equals this 11 times this side, which is 5, okay? So 11 times 5, and that equals 55. So that's the side 1 and side 2. They're the same. But this is a little trickier because the bottom is not the same. The bottom has different dimensions. Don't miss that, okay? So let's see. We'll do bottom. And the bottom, it is a rectangle, so we're still going to use, that's a weird looking W. We're still going to use length times width, okay? We're still going to use that. And the bottom is 6 by 11. Do you guys see that? 6 and 11, okay? I'm doing this bottom rectangle, 6 and 11, okay? So area equals 6 times 11, and I know that that is 66. And remember, there is no matching side to the bottom, okay, because it's a triangular prism. So I should have my 5 faces, a front, a back, the 2 sides, and the bottom. There's 5, okay? And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers here, so I'm in good shape. I just need to add them up. So we have 12 and 12. I know that's 24. Plus 55 plus 55 plus 66. That gives me a total of 200. So the surface area equals 200, and the unit of measurement on this one is in yards. So it's going to be yards squared. That is the answer here. Let's see if I got it right. Hey, check it out. 2 for 2. All right. All right. I've got 1 more minute, and I'll make a separate video for the cylinder. So on this video, I did a rectangular prism surface area, and I showed my work. I strongly suggest you break it out like this, okay? Use abbreviations, front, back, side 1, side 2, top and bottom. I also suggest you make sure you have the correct number of faces, right? Rectangular prisms have 6 faces, so you should have 6 areas that you're going to add together. Triangular prisms have 5, so you need to make sure you have 5 areas that you're going to add together to get the surface area. And then finally, when you do write your final answer, to make it easy on us teachers, label it SA for surface area, have your total here, and then label it with the unit of measurement squared. All right? Have a great day.